Ah, the pigmen have invaded us! Ah! Hello, guys and girls. Jokester here, bringing you another episode of Dire Pack. We are up to episode 3, and what's that in the back here? Well, we now have some canola growing. Yeah, I decided to do it down here. No, the water dripping does not help this out at all, but you can see in here these worms do. And you'll notice I've got a few of these worms in here, and that comes from when you use a hoe, or in this case a mattock. I made myself a obsidian mattock. It's very simple. It's just obsidian and the two pieces of obsidian and some wood, and you right click on grass or anything with green on it, green grass, right? It can be regular. Oh, you see I kind of tried to do something here. I don't know. I'm not liking it, but it's okay. You just right click here and you can do this, and eventually you'll get a worm that pops out. And I'm not going to spend the whole time hoeing here, but you can tell that's what happens. And you get worms, and you see there's some worms in here. There's one right there. And I planted them all around here. They do a 3x3, so a 9 block radius, and so the water only kind of gets out to four one direction. I really didn't want to have water in the center. I hate falling down. I just want to go through here and harvest this, and do this and grab all of it without having to worry about falling in anything. So I don't know, I did it this way because we've got some automation that's going to be coming to do this for me. Right now I've been doing this manually, and you see I made some obsidian pressure plates now that we have obsidian. I've been going in here and harvesting these guys and so on, but enough of that. I've got a little over 2 stacks of this now, and so this is canola, and it's from Actually Additions. And so we're going to get into a little bit of Actually Additions today. Let me dump this stuff off here. Well, one thing I wanted to show you is that if you take some wheat, and normally we would make bread this way, right? Well, we don't have the ability to see what the saturation is in this pack, but if we were to just use 2 of these, now we get 2. It's effectively 1 for 1. Now if I take one of these and I cook it up, this will be nice and fast in here. Wait for it to show up in here. Now we can actually use this. We can use this as food, and it gives 3 meat sticks, meat sickles, popsicles, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, so I can now have a ton of food without having to worry about going hunting down animals or eating bread, which just takes forever, or even some of the vegetables that are out there, the berries and stuff, that doesn't last very long. So yeah, once I finish this cooked mutton, I will have plenty of food. So I'm going to leave that there. So that's why I have the wheat farm. This guy is just cranking along, and you might wonder, well, how can I power both of these? Well, that's because I have capacitor banks. I have 3 of them underneath there, and I'm using them as my conduits for right now. Now, I did make some conduits. It's very simple. Remember, redstone and iron, and then the conduit binder stuff, and I wrap it around that red alloy, whatever it's called, and it makes the conduit. But I decided to do capacitor banks because I needed them, and so it's actually acting as my wire. And this guy is just keeping that guy filled up. But we're going to get into some more things today, and you'll notice I've already have queued up here this atomic reconstructor, and the recipe is fairly simple here. We're just going to need some black quartz, so let me been cooking this up here. Oops. I'll go here, this, we need this, and for one, I'm just going to do 1 for right now. And so now we've got an atomic reconstructor, and so I can place this guy wherever I want. I might just do it this way, but in the meantime, I have made myself a whole bunch of redstone torches. I only need 1, but I'm going to set this guy down, and it's going to, when it fills up, not that. I want to right-click it. There we go. And so you can see, you can change from deactivation when it gets enough power, see in the bottom left-hand side, or you can change it to pulse. We want it to be on pulse, and that's because we're going to use a button on there, a button, as some people say, which kind of drives me nuts. We don't need that anymore. And then we're going to take things like iron. Now, I'm going to make this into a block for some of it. Let's do a couple of these. Good. And I'll show you two different ways. So you can put them right here like this, or you could put a few of them down like this, and then when you hit the switch, it turns them all into these Inori crystals. And so you can see, I'll show you the two different types we have. We have Inori crystals and we have Inori crystal blocks, which of course can be just turned back into these Inori crystals. Either way, pretty straightforward. So that should do me for right now. I'm also going to want some redstone. Now, yes, I can drop this whole stack here. That'll work just fine. I personally like doing the blocks and lining them up, but you know, it'll work just fine like that as well. The other thing to consider is when you have a magnet on, it'll make a difference, right? Because the magnet will pick up the stuff that you throw down, whereas placing blocks won't. So that's just something to consider. Okay, so the first thing is what are we going to do with all this canola? Well, we want to make a canola press. And instead of me hunting through here, I'm just going to type in canola. We want to make a canola press. And so it takes some of these things, and I'm actually missing that, but we do have that. So we're going to use one for right now because we're kind of slim on resources, and I do need, there we go, we're going to grab that. I'm going to need some of this canola in my inventory, see if that's enough, and we should have everything. So now we have a canola press. And so let's set this guy down. I'm going to kind of make a, I don't know, maybe I'll make a, we need RF for this, right? I'm going to make kind of a assembly line here is what I'm trying to think of. And so we're going to grab this, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to lay this out. I haven't planned this very much, but maybe I'll move this over. Let's get this out of here. Those are for building, and let's get these down here. I'm thinking that, so what I'm going to have is I'm going to have a way to automatically harvest this. Let's do that first. So that'll help lay out where we want. And actually Additions has a farmer. And so pretty straightforward. It's one of these guys again. We'll grab one. We knew they were going to need multiple ones, but we need these Inori crystal blocks. We need 4 of them. So let's grab, we have 2 and not quite enough. So let's go grab some more of this iron. It's okay. Pre-calculating this for wimps. We just go on the fly. And I'm going to need 4 of those guys, and that should be, oh, I got to get my seeds, and 4 of those. There we go. Should have it now. Yes. Okay. Let's grab this farmer. Now, the farmer has a 9x9. This is a 5x5. I did put the water in here because I'm not going to be walking through here very much, so I can place this anywhere as long as it's within a 9x9. So in theory, if that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I could put it here, and it would still harvest that. So yeah, I'm not going to though. So what I want to do is we'll probably place this, trying to give myself a little bit of room. So if I put that there, looks to be directional, okay? It's going to need power. So I'm thinking about running power along the backside here. And then maybe, you know what? I'm gonna put that down a level below. That's what I think I want to do that. I want to try to take this down a level. And because that'll tie right into there, it'll also give me a little bit more room. Okay, and then we'll put some right there. Alright, so now we're getting power. Look at that. It just automatically does its thing. Excellent. Now I want to check to see, oops, not that one, that one. That one has drained it, but it also just filled that guy up. So I don't know how much power this uses. So what I want to do is I want to take a look at this guy, and with an empty hand, right click on here. Yeah, so it's perpetually running. Or no, it's not actually perpetually running. Now, is that guy not going to plant? I know I have to put that guy over there. And then it plants. Well, I think it does. At least that's what I believe. There we go. Okay, so we might have to do some automation to pull in and out. Looks like it might not be smart enough to pull from one side and put back to the other. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what the situation is. Okay, so that's one that we have. Yeah, might actually move this over too. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, so the next thing we have is this canola press, and so I'm wondering if I put that right there, will that automatically pull? It does not, and this doesn't have that. So yeah, we're going to have to make item conduits to get that out, or any one of the other methods of getting things out. And I do like item conduits. They're really nice. Let us do that. Let us get some iron, which I have a ton over here. I'm going to grab a whole nother stack to put in here, but I'm going to, oh, I did have some in there. I'm going to grab one for right now, and an ender pearl. Let's get that. Okay, Magic of YouTube finishes, and we will take our this and that, and wrap it around with this. Good. And now we have plenty of item conduits. So what I could do is come out of here, and then we will put this here. We'll do the extract, and that should be insert, and we are getting that in, and now that is making us canola oil. Okay, so cool. We've got canola oil, but we can't do anything with that yet because we need the next step. The next step is a fermenting barrel. So we want a fermenting barrel, and that's pretty straightforward. We're going to need this wood casing. We have everything. We sure do. And we should have a fermenting barrel. And now this one, I believe, does not need power, and it just automatically fills up right next to it. It auto pulls. So see, we've dumped all the canola oil out, and it is now fermenting, and it is filling up with oil. So very cool. Now, what are we going to do with oil, you ask? Well, we have, the next step is our, let's look for oil generator. So, oil generator, we talked about this in first episode and a little bit in second episode. So let's see here. I think I'm going to be one short on those guys. So permit me while I cook one of these guys up. All right. And let's do that. There's our second one. And hopefully we have everything. Yes, we do. Oil generator. So let's put that guy right there, and sure enough, it auto starts filling up and generating RF. And so that's kind of why I'm thinking I ought to run the power underneath. Yeah, that'll work out well. Now that I've laid this out, I haven't made myself a wrench yet. I need to do that. It's all the little things, right? Oh, that was perfect. I wanted that already. Sorry, Mr. Minecraft. There. So now this guy will be feeding its power back into the whole cumulative, right? And so we don't really know. So we've got in 70, 80, right? We don't know actually what's generating what, but we know that this guy does 30 RF per tick, and we're almost finished with that. And I believe if we're seeing 80, this might be 50 then. So it's not bad. We obviously have to parallelize this, and we'll have to play with it a bit, but I believe that this canola press will, well, let's take a look here. So we definitely have more fermenting. I mean, the fermenter is definitely slower, and this guy's still obviously filling up. It says it does 100 RF per tick. Interesting. But of course we know that this guy takes some, but yeah. Should be good. There we go. Now we're seeing 100 RF per tick when this is done. Okay, that makes more sense. Makes me feel better. Well, at least I know a little bit better what's going on. And so that we're hoping we should see a little bit more. 115. Yeah, I'm thinking it's when this guy runs, this farmer. It does its check. It wakes up, does its check every so often. So, yeah, and that just means the capacitor is all full. So these buffers should be filling up. All right, so 130 RF per tick. Wish it would tell me how much this guy does, but this guy definitely does do 100 RF per tick. Okay, very, very cool. So we have the ability to make these really cool, actually, addition stuff. We have more power now. No, it's not big power. Absolutely not. 130 RF is nowhere near, but we can instantiate this or replicate this. And so we've got to think about this. We might pull out and put right back in, right? Come up the top and have a filter. That might be an option to do. We'll see. Again, I got to see. So we have definitely used all of this. All of this has gone through, and this is working its way down. So we also might have to increase the size of this field, right? It can do a 9 by 9, so I might just expand that out and work that up. So we'll see. I mean, this is already all full, and we've got quite a bit of backup. Well, a little bit of backup here. So our power usage right now is minimal. So I'm okay with that. Okay, so the next thing is that some of the things I was looking at, it uses string, and I don't have a lot of string. And I was like, oh no, what am I going to do about string? There's 3 here, and I really don't think I want it in here. I don't know. This is my working chest, tied to here. So I'm going to leave that in here. But you see, I was growing industrial hemp fiber. And remember, industrial hemp fiber can be made into string. So look at that, just with a little bit of farming out there, and I really didn't do much off camera, I now have 16 more string. So that gives me a ton of string. So very, very cool. Very happy about that. Okay, I might have to have some place to put these redstone crystals because I'm quickly going to run out of space here. So I'll think about that. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to, speaking of places to store things, I want to stay in the Actually Additions family, and we're going to do a storage crate. So let's take a look at what it takes to make a storage crate. So we're going to need a whole bunch of chests, some wood, this wood casing, we've already made one of those. So let's just make one. And we'll just see what it's like. And I'm going to make that. I already had pre-made a bunch of chests, right? And I made a bunch of pistons for whatever need. So now we have a small storage crate. So let's take a look at this small storage crate. All right, so not bad. Now, for comparison, that double chest versus that. Oh, so much better. But we can go bigger. Oh. Let's go bigger. All right, so now we want a medium. So we need this void crystal. What's a void crystal, you may ask? Well, with the atomic reconstructor, we need coal. So we just need 9 of those. So we'll just make ourselves a block here. All right. Oh, you know what? I think I needed multiple ones. You know what? I've already got blocks made here. Let's just grab 8. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So you can also throw these blocks down. I don't have a magnet right now, so I'm not worried. Did that actually do it? No, it did not. Okay, you cannot actually throw the blocks down. All right, so you can do that. You can even go to the side. I believe it's 3 and 3, and so you can go 3 high if you want. Let's just see. There we go. I'll learn how to click a button eventually. Yes, everything here. So let's grab those, and let's go back to our medium chest here, and we have everything. And let's take a look at this medium storage chest. Oh, yeah. 2 pages. 2 pages. How awesome is that? Oh, that's going to be really nice. Let's see what it takes to make the 3rd one. Oh, yeah. Okay, so these are the empowered. We talked about this, or I should say I muddled through it. Instead of the atomic, in the 2nd episode, instead of the atomic reconstructor, you now need to do an empower. An empower is kind of you place this down, and then you have 4 things around the outside. So 1, 2, 3, 4 things around the outside. So you place your void crystal block on this guy here, and then your 4 pedestals, and you have to place these in there, and then you'll get the empowered void crystal. We don't have that set up yet, and I mean, we can see what it takes to make that. It's not too bad. We need a battery, just a whole bunch of crafting. It's not horrible. Doesn't look like iron casing. Yep, display stand. You need aesthetic green block, which is chiseled quartz block. Do we have to actually chisel it? Just quartz slabs. Okay. So yeah, I mean, just a whole bunch of crafting. I don't really need this massively big one. But what I want to do is kind of an ode to Actually Additions. Let's take this down. And then we can put our raw materials in here, and let's say we could go to page 2 and put our machines in here, or whatever we want. Right? It's really, really cool. I love it. Actually Additions You are my hero. So very cool, very cool. Let's check this guy out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with that, and that's all good. Yep. So at some point, once we get caught up, we will we'll have a back surplus, and I'll be able to determine what which ones I can which ones I can double, because it looks like we're getting a lot of oil per canola oil. That might be the backup. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. Well, I am going to have to bid you adieu. Nice and short episode. That's my mission this series, is to keep them short and sweet, and lots of cool stuff, and I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did as well. Yes. So if you enjoyed this, leave a like right down there, and subscribe if you're new. I really would appreciate it. I am building my channel, so all subscriptions help, and I appreciate it a lot. We should be bringing good stuff. So I will just catch you in the next one. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.